Good evening, Tallahassee. I'm your student meteorologist, Katie Garch, and I'm back with your Monday night edition of FSU weather. So getting a live look at Doak, we are seeing very clear conditions compared to last week, not a cloud in sight. We are sitting at a comfortable temperature at 75, very sunny conditions, and a breeze of 15 miles per hour going north-northwest. And looking at our current radar, we could see a little bit of that prescribed fires, but that's nothing to be worried about. All around the Big Bend area, there's pretty much no rain. And for tonight in Tallahassee, we're going to drop down to 47 with partly cloudy conditions and 5 miles per hour. And as for tomorrow, we are going to kick up to 82 with very sunny conditions and 6 miles per hour going from the northeast. Today's headlines are going to be dry air and sunny skies for Tallahassee, spring show and showers in the upper Midwest, a rainy start to the week for the Northeast. All that on FSU and more.
Thanks, Katie. I'm student meteorologist Spencer Blum.
And I'm student meteorologist Anna Walker.
And we hope you guys had a great weekend. Maybe you guys ate some gabagool this weekend. And I'm sure those of you who are big Swiftie fans, I'm sure you guys went out to Tampa to go see Taylor Swift. I heard it was pretty incredible. What did you hear?
I was so jealous of anyone that was able to come down to Tampa Bay, that's my hometown, and go see Taylor Swift. I hope everyone had a gabagool-lastic time down there. And I was just so jealous.
I was pretty jealous too. They had some pretty decent weather, and we're going to be having some pretty nice weather here in Tallahassee and across most of the country for much of this week. So, what do you think about that?
That there were some showers that went through. There was a front that went through that Great Plains area, and we're seeing the repercussions of it today and this evening, with temperatures dipping into the 40s. It's very crazy this time of year.
We're going to pass things over to the wall with Victoria.
Hi, thank you, Spencer. For tonight, we're starting off our show with our live look at Doak Campbell Stadium. Here we can see our bright sunny skies that we've been experiencing all day. Definitely a nice change of pace given the heavy weather over the weekend. I know I got caught in the rain yesterday and that was not a fun time, but today we've got sunny skies and mild temperatures to look forward to. Around the Big Bend area, we've got a pretty nice ubiquitous temperatures here. As we can see, with most counties staying in that mid-70s range, nice temperature to go outside and enjoy that weather as long as it lasts. Given that cold front has already passed us, our temperatures are looking a little bit closer to the average temperatures that we would expect for this time of year, definitely bringing in those spring vibes. As the semester closes out, we are still seeing some colder temperatures starting off the day. I know when I was walking to class this morning, it was quite chilly, but we've mellowed out quite nicely over the course of the day at noon, hitting that 70-degree marks and staying pretty consistent throughout the afternoon. We've got some pretty strong winds over to the north of Tallahassee and even in Tallahassee itself, and that's been definitely bringing some nice breezes with those warmer temperatures. So really a perfect day to go outside. As we can see, there is not a cloud in sight in our radar with just our little bits of prescribed fire burns over by the St. Mark's area. But other than that, no precipitation to worry about. And no precipitation to worry about for tomorrow either, as those clear skies are here to stay, as we've now got a high pressure system replacing that cold front that we had over the weekend. For tonight, temperatures will dip down again a little bit towards the 50s, so do keep that in mind if you're going out tonight. It might be a little chillier than you're used to for this time of year. Tomorrow we are kicking things back up in the temperature range, however, with Tallahassee hitting that 83-degree mark, definitely in time for that Florida spring temperatures. And we're seeing those 80 degrees pretty consistent throughout the rest of the week, especially Thursday with things going up into 88. But some weather over in the weekend. So Katie, what's the rest of Florida looking like? For the rest of Florida, we are seeing some very hot temperatures. You could see here down in Key West, we are hitting 83. Same story with Fort Myers. Here at West Palm Beach,
it's going to hit 80, and then as we get to the Panhandle, 75 here in Tallahassee. Our satellite radar, you could see that rain and precipitation that we had a lot of for South Florida is just moving east and pushing off the coast. So that will no longer be in the area for the week ahead, and we will start to see those sunny conditions. For our outlook, you could see this non-severe risk of the storm, and that's nothing to be worried about. It's just that storm just brushing off. But for the whole state of Florida, north and the mid-east of Florida, it's pretty much clear conditions. For a 72-hour rain forecast, we're looking at a little bit of some severe precipitation here, and then parts more northwest, but that's nothing to be worried about. And for Miami, our 3-day outlook, we could see very hot temperatures, 80 on Tuesday, 81 on Wednesday, and 80 on Thursday. We're going to hit a few scattered showers here on Thursday, and our lows will be around the 74 degrees. And for Tampa, we'll be a little bit warmer. We'll hit 88 on Thursday as the high, and then we'll have a little bit of rain on Thursday, a few clouds here on Wednesday, but pretty much all sunny on Tuesday. And as for Orlando, we're looking at very hot conditions as well, 84 here on Thursday, but similar story, sunny, beautiful days to go out. Any outdoor activities would be just perfect for this week ahead. Jacksonville, we are looking at 78, and it moves on from there, 83 on Wednesday and Thursday, so very, very hot conditions. We'll see a few clouds on Wednesday, but that shouldn't ruin any outdoor activities, and it stays pretty warm through the whole state. Pensacola will dip down to high 70s, 79 on Wednesday and Thursday, and pretty much sunny as the whole state is. For tonight's forecast, we'll dip down to very colder conditions, 52 here in Pensacola and 48 here in Tallahassee. So you definitely want to bring a jacket if you are heading outside. We'll see a little bit of some clouds here at South Florida, and we'll hit 73 down here at Key West, but very cold, so definitely bring your jacket out. Tomorrow's forecast is very hot conditions, 85 here in Fort Myers as the warm spot, but pretty much staying in the 80s, 70 here in Pensacola, but we're looking at some very warm temperatures. But let's switch things over to Anna for the southeast.
Hello, I just wanted to take a look at our southeast area here. As you can see across the map, 76. If you were at that Taylor Swift concert here, you were definitely feeling the heat. 74 New Orleans. If you come up here to Atlanta, we're looking a bit cooler temperatures there, maybe a bit more bearable. But as you can see here, we have a lot of moisture down here in this Miami area. But here in Tallahassee, if you have gone outside, it feels much, much better out. There's a lot more relief from the warm and moist temperatures that we've been seeing, and you can see the general trend throughout all of here with this drier air that's indicated by the brown colors. We have some variable winds across the map, nothing that stands out, maybe about 12 miles per hour in Tampa, 14 in Atlanta, so overall just some general winds. We do see the remains of this front here, and you can see it here. It did move through just a little bit ago, but there's no rain that's affecting our area currently. And you can see the front as it heads out here, and nothing really coming our way, maybe a bit of clouds, but that's about it. And we just had some prescribed burns, but as we take a look into our water vapor index, again, we have very dry conditions here in Tallahassee, and that may change. There may be some more moisture that might push through later on. And as we take a look into our SPC storm outlook for day one, there could be some potential marginal risk here, maybe about Dallas, Texas area, but nothing for our location. And day two, about the same area, nothing in our location though. Now if we take a look at tonight's forecasts across the area, 48 Tallahassee. If you are in the library at Strozier, potentially studying, I know that I'm going to be in the library a lot these next few weeks. Make sure you have a jacket with you. And then also Atlanta, we have 46 degrees. You can see these cooler temperatures here. I know that I had a friend in Chicago, and just the other week it was 80 degrees outside, so they've had a lot of variability there. Maybe Little Rock 52. And tomorrow's forecast, red across the map here, 83 degrees in Tallahassee. 83 in Miami even. So we are having the same temperatures in Miami here that we have in Tallahassee. So very warm across the Florida Peninsula. And as we take a look here, maybe Little Rock, New Orleans, 70s, 80s on either side of that. And as we take a look at the future forecast for the next few days, you can see the front that's moving out. And we have 70s and 80s throughout our southeast areas. So also, you can see in the future forecast here, we have some cooler temperatures. There's a lot of variability here. And 69 in Miami, it might be a bit cloudier down here. And I would just, you can see there's a lot of cooler temperatures up here. And in the Great Plains area, there's going to be maybe on either side of the 70s. So I'd like to pass things off for sports to Nico.
Yes, thank you, Anna. Yeah, we have a lot of sports going on this week with FSU. And one of these is we're talking about the Nashville, Tennessee Outlook. I don't think this is the right segment. All right, now I think I'm on the right graphics. All right, so let's go. We have a lot of sports going on this week in FSU. We do have, I know we have a baseball series this weekend, but here's our live look at the Sportsplex tonight. Beautiful sunny sky. If you're out at the FSU Sportsplex tonight, it is a great night to be out and about here. So it's going to be cooler than normal, which is nicer to play sports in for sure because you won't get all hot and sweaty super quickly. But here's where you have your future radar. In southern Florida, if you're playing any sports out in southern Florida, you might have to deal with some rain. But up in here in North Florida, we don't have to worry about too much in the way of rain. It's going to be really sunny for the evening. And as we continue into tomorrow, where we do have a game against Stetson at Stetson in DeLand, it's going to be 79 and sunny. Even Central Florida is below average for this time of the year. It's going to be really, really nice for those softball players. We have a good team this year, so hopefully we can pick up a win against Stetson on the road tomorrow. For our men's tennis team, we play in Cary, North Carolina in the ACC Championship on Wednesday. So hopefully we can win the ACC in men's tennis. If we are going to win the ACC in men's tennis, we're going to be doing so in the low 80s under sunny conditions. So it will be nice weather for these tennis players to play outside, and it will not be too hot and humid. It will be a little warm, but it shouldn't be too humid, which will be nice. For our men's baseball team, we're playing at UNF in Jacksonville on Wednesday. And you have the easterly wind, and being from St. Augustine, which is near Jacksonville, I know when you get the easterly wind, you tend to cool off a bit in the evening from the sea breeze, so they should have a cool breeze by 6 p.m. for the baseball players at UNF, and hopefully we can win. Our baseball team has been struggling this year, but I think we can get the win against UNF on the road, hopefully under these nice conditions. As we look at our women's tennis team, though, the women's tennis plays on Thursday in Cary, North Carolina, in their ACC championship, and this is well above normal for North Carolina on April 20th. It's going to be almost 90 degrees. It's going to be 86. And then as you look at the 3-day outlook for Cary, it warms up to near 86 by Thursday. And as we have our men's baseball series this weekend, Friday should be pretty nice. We may have to worry about some rain later in the weekend. But now I'm going to pass things off to Spencer.
Thanks, Nico. Sorry, so we're going to take a look briefly at what's going on nationally across the country. So like it's been mentioned, so we are seeing some relatively, although we are seeing temperatures here in the 80s in Florida, it's not that bad, not as bad as it could be for April, because overall across the country, we are seeing relatively cool temperatures. Look at that, 67 in Kansas City, 70 in Memphis, look, 63 in Los Angeles, only 75 in Albuquerque. And looking at the satellite for much of the country, you can see there's not really too much going on. We do have a storm up here in the northern Midwest around the Great Lakes region, but other than that, we're looking at dry, clear conditions across most of the country, which is due to some high pressure, which we'll see in just a sec. So here you can see just a little bit more of the relative humidity. So obviously here where we are seeing a lot more snow and rain, these areas are going to be seeing a lot more moisture in the air, even though it's a lot colder outside. So that's why we're seeing a lot of green up here by the Great Lakes, and as well a little bit down here in the peninsular and southern parts of Florida. Obviously they've had quite a bit of rain over this last weekend. If you've seen pictures out of Fort Lauderdale, the airport was completely submerged. And then we do have just some more moisture up here on the west coast. And here is that national surface pressure map. So you can see here's that blue H means high pressure. So we have clear sinking air across most of the country, which is just leading to these beautiful, clear, dry, nice, cool conditions. Here's that cold front associated with that storm in the Great Lakes, making its way all the way down across the Atlantic, through the Gulf, basically encompassing the entire east coast of the United States. So this whole area is going to be seeing cooler, nice, crisp conditions, which we are seeing across most of the country. And then here we have another cold front out west of the Rockies in the Pacific Northwest and going into the Mojave and Sonoran deserts. So here's a look at the drought monitor. So with all the rain that we've been getting across the country, most places are looking pretty good, especially here in Florida. We could use a bit more rain, except that in South Florida and here in Tallahassee, we're doing pretty good. Out west, it's looking great. Most of California is out of a drought at this point. Much of this yellow is not considered drought. It's really just considered areas that are healing or moving into a drought. However, here along the plains, in the Ogallala Aquifer region, we are seeing some of the worst levels of drought in the country at the moment. So here you can zoom in. Albuquerque, in that yellow category, not too bad, just abnormally dry. But as we get into much of northern Oklahoma, the Texas Panhandle, and into much of Kansas, we're looking at exceptional drought. This is the highest level drought, so these areas are extremely parched for water at this time. So over the next few days, what can we see or expect in terms of severe weather? This is very light green, non-severe. This is just maybe occasional thunderstorms, nothing to really worry about. This darker green is a marginal risk. This is a level 1 out of 5. So these areas, just be a little on the lookout for some possible severe thunderstorms, but not too likely. And these are just some active alerts that are going on around most of the country. So thankfully, to all of that dry air and these cool, crisp conditions, we're seeing some potentials for fire weather here along the western part of the plains and east of the Rockies. So again, much of New Mexico, eastern Colorado, and western Kansas. These areas want to be on the lookout for some fire conditions. And here on the East Coast, not looking at too much, just some marine warnings. So maybe if you're going to be taking out a boat in the Gulf of Mexico, you might want to be careful the next few days, and just some fire watches up here in the Mid-Atlantic. So briefly, we're going to take one last look about the forecast, or what we can expect to see in the next few days. So all these areas in blue can expect cooler than average temperatures, and these areas in red, we can expect to see warmer than average temperatures. So Aaron, tell me, what's happening up in the Northeast?
Well, we actually have a system up in the Northeast there. It's actually producing some precipitation right now, bringing some of that cooler weather there, as you can see from that trough on the 6 to 10 day outlook there on that last graphic. But here you are, we have 35 Columbus, 34 Detroit, 31 in Green Bay. So we're actually really pleasant for this time of year for the upper Midwest. Same story as well for the Northeast. So 38 in upstate New York, 50 in New York City, and then 49 in Boston. So here are wind speeds around that area of low pressure center, just around the thing. New York there, we have that northwesterly wind behind Detroit, and then we have that moisture that's actually being pumped up ahead of it. That's what's actually helping to produce some of these showers and actually some snow showers there. And there's that swirl, though. Don't get dizzy here, folks. There's that swirl right there, just off the mitten of Michigan, right there going to Canada, and in Toronto and all that, with all that rain and all that snow around with it, too. So if you are near places like Lansing, Detroit, or near the Canadian border, might actually be a nice night for some gabagool there, because at least we have a good amount of snow and some precipitation wrapping around that center of low pressure there, as it does make its way off towards the Northeast. So that snowfall forecast, we do have quite a bit of snow perhaps that could accumulate just probably the northern portions of like Lake Superior, Lake Huron, and then also working its way along the 49th parallel toward the border there of the U.S. So if you're in North Dakota upwards into Canada, you might perhaps see a little bit of snow. And with that too, we also have some precipitation moving through the Midwest as well, with amounts probably around the 2-inch mark or so there behind my head near Minneapolis and Chicago O'Hare. About 2, maybe 2.5 inches in some localized spots, and of course, locally heavy rain as possible as well. So as that area of low pressure does make its way off towards the Northeast and bring all the moisture with it, we will begin to clear out, especially down towards DC and over into Columbus there. And it probably won't be until about Wednesday or so, until perhaps NYC, Pittsburgh, upwards of maybe southern portions of New York State where they might begin to clear out and might have those nicer conditions back into the mid to upper 40s there. So actually not too shabby for this time of year. Boston, Massachusetts, nice with that sunshine peeking out there on Wednesday. Maybe perhaps see a few peekaboo sunshine there on Tuesday, but most of the sunshine does end up coming out here at least into the middle 60s there on Thursday. And for Philadelphia there in Pennsylvania, also pretty similar story with actually they're approaching 80 degrees there on Thursday. Wow, it's actually pretty warm for this time of year for the Mid-Atlantic and upward in towards New England there. And then, but with that abundant sunshine, so actually not feeling too bad there either. And for Albany, New York there, where our Monday producer will go to her new station there next year, those temperatures will remain into the middle 50s on Tuesday through Thursday there, with that sunshine also coming out there on Thursday with really nice conditions there in store for much of New York. And by the way, this goes for much of New England as well, with Wednesday, Thursday into Friday remaining really pleasant. And so make sure you do get those outdoor activities and save them for Wednesday and Thursday, as we'll have those really nice conditions there across much of New England, at least for the next few days or so. But Nico, what's up on lifestyle?
Yes, thank you, Aaron. So if we look at our lifestyle forecast, if you're all going to go out to the res, really nice evening to be out here, 75 degrees and sunny conditions, maybe a little bit chilly even to get in the water, especially with that north-northwest breeze, but it's definitely a great day to be outdoors. It's probably one of the last days that you can enjoy being outdoors without immediately going outside and sweating before we get into that summer heat that we are all well aware of in Florida. But currently this evening we have no clouds in the sky area-wide, and our temperatures are in the mid-70s area-wide as well. And as our wind is out of the north, the temperatures are about the same along the coast this time too, because they did not have a sea breeze today like they've been getting. But it is a nice evening area-wide, and here's the main reason that we're actually nice. It's not just the temperatures, but our dew point, 35-degree dew point in Tallahassee. And our dew points area-wide are in the 30s and the 40s. The 47 in Monticello might be a little bit high. It's probably closer to a 40-degree dew point there. But area-wide, we can see we have very, very dry air. So we don't have to deal with the humidity at all tonight. If you're going to walk to the Strozier Library this evening, it's going to get down to 58. It'll be clear. It won't be sunny at night. But if you're going to be going out there tonight, it will be a nice evening to take a walk, to go study. You're flying out of Tallahassee. We have no delays this evening, 75 degrees and sunny conditions, so that's definitely great weather to fly in if you have to go fly anywhere. And you can see area-wide, pretty much the entire southeast and even the whole country, you have little to any delays because we do have high pressure dominating most of the country right now, along with fair weather. So today is a great day to travel if you are going on vacation anywhere. If you're going to be out and about tonight, though, it's going to be chilly. It's going to get down to 54. I think this temperature is nice, but you might not be used to it after how warm it has been in Tallahassee over the last month or so. So if you want to bring a light jacket, tonight might be the night to do it. It should be one of our chilliest nights for the remainder of the spring. And as we head into tomorrow, it's going to warm up a little bit. We're going to get up to 82 degrees tomorrow. It's still going to be right around average, but it's still going to feel a little bit chillier than normal because it is not going to be humid tomorrow either. We are going to continue to have the high pressure and the dry air. So if you're going to take your dog for a walk tomorrow, there's not really any bad times to do it. If you're going to go at 7 a.m., you might want to wear a light jacket, but it's going to stay nice all morning long. So it's a great day to go for a walk with your dog if you're going to take your dog for a walk around Tallahassee. Maybe not quite the best pool day until later in the afternoon when you hit 80 degrees at 3 p.m. You probably don't want to go swimming when it's 57 at 9 in the morning, though. It will be a little bit chilly for that. But as you go through the day tomorrow, you see we start off pretty chilly, but then we warm up into the upper 70s and possibly touching near 80 tomorrow afternoon. Now I'm going to pass things off to Josh for a last look at our local forecast.
Thanks, Nico. As you see, Doe Campbell is looking beautiful. It's looking so amazing, and you'll be pleased to see that we'll be expecting our beautiful signature sunsets. So go outside and enjoy that gabagool. Now, as for our temperatures, we are currently going to be in the low to upper 70s, mainly low here at 71 here at Thomasville, and we're going to be a little bit warmer at the coast. Now, as we expect for our wind speed, we're going to be mainly seeing winds coming from the north, and especially going to be strong at Apalachicola here, 60 miles. Thomasville at 9, Tallahassee here at 15, so it'll be nice and breezy. And for our current radar, we're not going to be seeing anything, but however, we will be having some prescribed fires that are to the southeast of Tallahassee. So that's just going to be coming, and it's going to be pushing down here. So we're not going to be expecting any smoke coming to Tallahassee, which will be great. Now, as we head to our radar tomorrow, we're not going to be seeing any clouds in the area whatsoever. So it'll be a perfect night to go stargazing. Make sure to be having some more of that gabagool, as I will say, and make sure to just enjoy the sun, because it's going to be beautiful, it'll be nice, and you're just going to love the weather. Now, for tonight, we will be expecting some cool temperatures, just like my gabagool. And we're going to be in the low 50s, and just make sure that if you're going to go outside, like I said, stargazing, just make sure you bring that jacket. Otherwise, you're just going to be cold like me, and I do not do well in the cold. Let's just say that. So for our air quality, again, I have allergies. So tonight, it's perfect to go outside because there's little to no risk. Go outside, take a walk, enjoy that signature sunset at Joe Campbell. With tomorrow, it's going to be a little bit chilly in the morning, but it will warm up to the low 80s tomorrow. So it'll be the perfect time to drive, walk around, and you won't be expecting that humidity that we're so used to, unfortunately. And finally, for our week ahead, we're going to be expecting some thunderstorms coming through Saturday afternoon and Sunday. But as you say, for the week ahead, for this rest of the week, we're going to be seeing some beautiful sunny temperatures. And as I say, stay shaded, stay hydrated, sunblock. Now let's bring it back to Aaron and Victoria to close out the show.
Thank you, Josh. And by the way, congratulations, Josh, on your first show. That was an amazing spectacular. You got to show us all that there because we can learn from you there. But that was an amazing show. Wouldn't you say that, Victoria?
I would say so. That was definitely a great start to hopefully many more.
That's right. And of course, weather-wise here, we've actually been having nicer temperatures there. So we're no longer much of that gabagool weather like you might perhaps see at least this past weekend or so with those rains and those shower activity across the area. But now we're actually seeing the sunshine come out.
No, yeah, that is definitely a plus for me. I like the weather that we've been having, especially with the dry air. It's perfect to go on like one last outing before final season kicks in.
That's right. Actually, the week ahead looks to at least remain pretty dry out there. So if you do want to have more of those outings, if you want to go for a walk, have a hike perhaps, or I should say go for a hike as well, or go for that bike ride, it should remain really pleasant over the next several days or so.
Yes, definitely. Here in Florida, with this nice weather that we've been having, however, it's really hard to imagine that the rest of the country is looking actually quite cold and dreary sometimes.
That's right. In the Northeast right now, we have that area of low pressure that's bringing all of that snow and that rain there across Michigan over towards New England, I should say, and into Pennsylvania as well. So.
But yeah, definitely, it's been very nice for us here on the weather. Be sure to keep up with our weather updates on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, all at FSU Weather. Make sure you follow those and keep in touch.
That's right. Don't forget Instagram as well, where we have all the greatest and amazing content there for all of you, all superstars out there. So I've been student meteorologist Aaron Saray.
And I'm student meteorologist Tori Crespo.
Have a great night.